What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna be taking a look at this 2026 Toyota 4Runner. This one is a limited four-wheel drive finished off in the Heritage Blue with an MSRP at $64,200. Big shout out to Flo Toyota of Statesville for providing this new 4Runner for today's video. Take a look at their website, link down below. And honestly, this is probably one of my favorite specs for a new 4Runner. Let's get right into it. Underneath the hood of the 2026 Toyota 4Runner Limited, you're going to find the iForce Max, which is a 2.4 liter inline four-cylinder turbocharged engine equipped with a hybrid system. This is going to be making 326 horsepower with 465 pound-feet of torque. Has an 8-speed automatic transmission, a four-wheel drive system. Current weight's around 4,900 pounds on this. We also get a 19-gallon fuel tank, and you can expect 22 miles per gallon in the city with 24 out on the highway, as well as towing capacity around 6,000 pounds. The overall length is 194.9 inches with wheelbase at 112.2. Width is 78 and height is 72.6 inches. The approach angle is also 18 degrees with ground clearance at 8.1 inches and departure angle at 22 degrees. Taking a look at the exterior styling with the 2026 4Runner. So this is the newest generation we saw last year. Has a really good style overall. I especially like the LED headlights. You're gonna see the daytime running lights, the LED beams. It even says 4Runner throughout it. And then this one's gonna get the satin silver trim throughout the grille, which honestly looks fantastic with this color combination. You have tons of openings to provide cooling, forward sensor, parking sensors, forward camera. You have LED fog lights down below, more of this silver trim throughout the lower bumper, and then there's recovery hooks throughout that air dam. You're also going to see nice functional air inlets throughout these side fenders, and then just really sharp lines throughout it. Has a bold look, still looking like a 4Runner, so they've really kept the traditional style that we love about this SUV, but gave it a much more bold appearance. You have some nice sharp body lines throughout the hood that fade towards the windshield. Got that iForce Max badge indicating the hybrid engine. Just really looks nice, especially in this luxury trim. You have a really good looking set of two-tone wheels, 20-inch diameter, got that nice multi-spoke look, body colored fender flares with a lot of body sculpture throughout that front fender. You're gonna see some plastic side steps, got the limited badge, sharp lines throughout the doors, and then body colored on the door handles along with the mirror caps. We have a turn signal, integrated camera, and then some black trim all throughout the side windows. I also really especially like this third window. It cuts upwards towards the roof line. We have a nice set of silver roof rails, sunroof up there as well. Side profile is what we're expecting to see from a 4Runner. It looks very similar to all the generations. So again, they've really kept this style alive just with the new design. Got more of that nice looking bodywork for the rear fender arch, and then it cuts into this rear bumper quite nicely. Got your rear facing parking sensors, more of this satin silver design on the bumper, a recovery hook down below, trailer hitch receiver, and then you can see the silver color for the 4Runner name, got the badge, and then we even have an inlay for the Toyota name. You're gonna see the buttons for the rear window. You do have that sliding rear glass. Rear wiper blade is tucked away, third brake light, nice integrated spoiler, and a boxy style for these LED taillights. So once again, it just really comes together. I love the new design on the 4Runner. For the key fob, you have this forged carbon fiber style throughout the name, and then just your basic buttons as well. If I go ahead and just keep it locked, you have power folding side mirrors. All you have to do is grab the door handle, of course, and we can take a look at this interior. So this one's gonna get the brown leather seating. Looks fantastic once again. And then throughout the door panel, we have this soft touch material up above with contrast stitching, memory seating, your release handle, all of your basic controls, a nice size grab handle, and then more of that brown soft touch as well as the black. So lots of good materials throughout the door, tons of hidden storage all throughout it. Some gloss black trim, JBL audio system, got limited on the floor mats, and then all your power controls as well. Seats look really nice, especially with this square design for all the perforations throughout it. Looks really fitting, nice little fabric trim piece as well. Just a really good looking seat. 4-spoke leather wrapped steering wheel with this dimpled leather, and then we have some dark trim all throughout it. And then now inside this 2026 Toyota 4Runner Limited, keeping my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and fire it up. We have comfort access, so the steering wheel and the seat automatically get back to the memory setting. You're gonna see that silver color for the badge with this faux stitching. We have controls on the left side for the screen, voice commands, and audio. And then on the right side, we have some cruise control settings as well. stalk on the right for windshield wipers, and then you have the stalk on the left side for headlights and turn signals. Now, for the gauge cluster, what you're used to seeing now on all the new Toyotas for the most part, we have this nice design that you can configure. You have some basic info you can cycle through, and then you can also customize it by holding down the OK icon. From here, each of these 3 sections basically has extra designs you're able to go through. You have a lot of vitals, auxiliary gauges. You can just make it simple with a blank design, audio, traction, and things like that. So nice bit of information. It's simple, got all the basic information, really can't complain with that. Over on the left side, we're gonna get a button that you can adjust the level of your headlights. Great if you end up lifting the truck. Fuel cap, tailgate release, a couple other controls, automatic high beams. Got a couple blank switches. And then this textured glossy material. You have one of the air vents, kind of a hard plastic up above, tweeter over here. You have a removable Bluetooth speaker right in the center of the dashboard. And then there's even a grab handle on the passenger side. There's gonna be storage in this upper section, more of this textured design throughout the dashboard. Then I like how we have more of the brown leather style material throughout the cover. Got a nice large bucket. And then for the multimedia screen in the center, again, what you're used to seeing on all the newest Toyotas. So once you set it up, you're gonna have built-in navigation, audio, of course, once connected, phone integration. Under car, you have trip info you're able to take a look at, get some of that information as well. And then we also have vehicle alert and then settings. So there's not really that much on these screens. Hopefully this gets the new multimedia system we've seen in the new RAV4. In reverse, you have a really good backup camera though. Top-down view, all sorts of different angles we're able to take a look at. You even have this one right here for a really good looking 360 design. You have an auto, you have your guidelines as well. So really do like the screen system, especially for the cameras. There's gonna be a volume control right in the center with more air vents. We have our heated and vented seats. We have fan speed right in the center we can adjust, recirc. We have our mode icon as well. So really simple with the toggles. We have the dual zone temperature with these large dials. We have more controls, heated steering wheel, tiny bit of storage that maybe you can put your key fob in. And then there's wireless charging down below with more storage as well as extra plugs. A nice passenger grab handle as well, large shifter, brake hold, park and brake, and then all the 4-wheel drive settings. So it's basically a full-time 4-wheel drive system. So you have all that, even with a low. We have drive modes as well. It's gonna pop up. We have several for the street as well as extra sport ones as well. So really good for just street on-road driving. Tow and haul mode as well, and then a shortcut right here for the camera. That'll give you more of a 360 design. You also have more storage in the center, and then a nice padded armrest with this black leather material, contrast stitching, storage down below. And then one last look at the interior. These seats really look fantastic, and I especially like the brown over this blue. So definitely one of my favorite specs. I would buy this one all day long. We have all the controls for the roof as well as the rear sliding glass. There's gonna be a nice size sunglass holder, and then we have garage door buttons underneath your mirror. Moving on to the back seats now, just grabbing the door, opening it up. You are gonna get some nice materials back here, which is really good to see. We have all this soft touch padded material, the brown as well with stitching, padded armrests, your good size grab handle, all the storage, cup holder, a speaker, and the gloss trim. For the rear seating, once again, all the same material with the smooth and perforated, and these seats recline very well. As you can see the differences, that's a really nice bit of recline. We can pull the center down. You have a nice armrest with cup holders, and then you are gonna see air vents back here. You have all of your plugs as well. There's storage behind each of these seats. And then as far as maneuvering these with the recline lever right here, I can just pull this, the seat will fold down flat, and we have space into the back. So hopping into the back seat with the 4Runner. So with the seat straight up, not exactly comfortable, but if we recline it a little bit, get my bearings with the back end of this, you know, at 5'11", it's pretty decent. I have good headroom. Driver's seat's at my height. My knees just barely touch it. My feet are a little smushed underneath, and I wouldn't mind a little bit more height to this seat. So it's fine. There's definitely plenty of space, you know, car seats and things like that. But this is a body-on-frame SUV. So if you want more of a crossover, which will have lower seats, maybe a bit more room, you know, there's other options out there. But this, for being more of on the rugged side, you know, I still have the amenities and good enough space. So not bad at all for a rugged family SUV. Moving on to the cargo space now, we have these two buttons back here we can press. The one will go ahead and slide this down, which is really good for just easy access. And then of course we can press the other one and slide this back up. You can also use these buttons to lock and unlock the SUV. Now from here we have a power liftgate. I can press that button once, it's gonna automatically pop open. Now we have about 48 cubic feet of cargo volume behind these rear seats, and then closer to 90 when they're folded flat down. So you're gonna have just a little bit of a bump, but not too bad. We have all sorts of storage space in the back, another speaker, plug, and light. And then on the left side, more cargo area as well. Now being the hybrid, that's why you're gonna see this massive bump. So a little bit of a downfall with the design. We can pull this one up and we do have some hidden storage underneath, which is a cool touch, but definitely pretty practical overall. Now up above, you're gonna get your buttons. We can easily press that. There's also speakers and lights in that liftgate. And then as far as continuing with folding all these seats down, if you pull the lever and just let it roll all the way up, you can see how you can get more space. So a little bit more space underneath the seat, and there's hidden space underneath this floor back here. So pretty useful overall with how you can maneuver the seats and mix and match. So definitely a practical, rugged SUV for family and cargo. All right, so setting off now in the 2026 Toyota 4Runner Limited. So first and foremost, this is a body on frame SUV. So it definitely is a bit more rugged than the crossovers that might be in this segment. So overall driving, it's definitely a comfortable seating position. Pretty easy to see around. Visibility is all actually really good, no complaints. It's not a giant SUV, but of course it still has a decent size to it. The cameras work fantastic. So it's pretty easy to maneuver. I just love those cameras. So 3-point turn, I am gonna hit the gravel a little bit. So again, it's not a small car. With that said, accelerating in comfort mode, man, you have that EV power that hits super quickly and instantly. You have a lot of it. The turbo power in the engine itself. You have a lot of power in this to where this thing moves. It is so quick and light on its toes. It is really an impressive engine. Overall, it's pretty smooth too. Even just cruising, if you give it a little bit of throttle, it's pretty effortless to do its acceleration, especially when you dial up the different drive modes. Sport Plus, you can hear some of the piped in audio for the engine, so you can hear a little bit of that. It gives it a bit more beefy tone, but it's definitely a lot more responsive in the Sport Plus mode. Go back into comfort mode now. Overall, honestly, it's a pretty comfortable SUV to get used to. Suspension is very forgiving. It feels tough. That's something that I love about a 4Runner. Maybe a Honda Passport is something you're cross-shopping this with. I started liking the Honda Passport a bit more, and then I drove the 4Runners a bit more once again. This thing is just so cool. It is a way tougher vehicle. It just feels awesome to drive. You really feel like you're in command of something that has some power and capabilities. I like the overall seating position. These seats are very padded with the memory seating and everything. I just get so comfortable in here. And everything you touch is really nice. The steering wheel feels great. I love these soft touch materials all throughout the door. Armrests are comfortable. It's also really quiet in here. We're on a bad road. I was filming some other cars on this road yesterday, and this is comfortable and quiet, especially comparing it to, some competitor vehicles. It absorbs bump swells. It's very smooth to drive. For being, again, a 4Runner, which they're a little rough around the edges, which this still is compared to some crossovers, but this is a very smooth driving SUV that, at this trim level, particularly over any of the TRDs or a base model or any of these standard 4-cylinders, I think it really just drives quite nice. This is the one I would get, especially since I'm not really gonna go off-roading, but this could tow a trailer, tow a boat, fit the family good enough. So moving on to my honest thoughts with the 2026 Toyota 4Runner. I think overall they honestly did a really good job with the new one, especially when you look at the design. The old one really had no complaints, it looked great. This one looks a lot like it, just a bit more bold, a bit more modern. So design-wise, they did a cool job. Interior fit and finish is a lot better. A lot of people constantly complain about Toyota's, plastic interiors. The old one had just as much plastic. In fact, it had more hard plastics in the old one. This has nicer plastics. Modern cars, everything is plastic. Unless you have an expensive car with genuine leather, every single car these days is made of plastic. So I don't understand when people comment about plastic when everything's plastic. That's just how it is. This one does have leather on the seats though. The window sticker says leather trimmed. So from what I can tell, it looks like all the perforated is leather. I think the smooth feels like a vinyl. It's hard to really tell, but really nice seats. All this is vinyl, but again, it's a nice material. It feels good. This is a great interior. It feels really nice. Nothing feels cheap, and the things you grab honestly feel pretty good. Old one was a lot of smooth plastics and stuff like that. So I think they did a great job. The big screen, I think it's standard for this trim level. It's a standalone option on some of the lower ones. Realistically, there's not really anything in this screen to look at aside from the cameras. CarPlay looks great. Navigation, of course, is sweet with a big screen, but I would rather have, honestly, a much smaller screen just because you don't really need anything in it. But other than that, though, overall, it is a really good vehicle. A lot of people aren't the biggest fan of the new 4-cylinders. You know, they like the old V6, and a lot of owners love the old V8, which, you know, Toyota has gone away from that stuff. With this being electrified, you just have so much better power. It is really, really quick to drive this. There's even tuning already available. My brother owns an iForce Max Tacoma, and he is literally about to be tuning it now with the Cobb Access port, which is what I used on my GTR years ago. So you can make these things really fast, which you could not say the same about the old one unless you did the old TRD supercharger kits, which kind of few and far between. But it's still a reliable engine. We're not really seeing any issues. It's still relatively new, but you know, Toyota knows what they're doing. They make good stuff. So honestly, I would not let that deter you, just because once you drive it, the benefits over the old V6 are just plentiful. So I think they just really nailed it. Now, as far as the 4Runner in general, I think most people who like any sort of more rugged style SUV are gonna like this. It drives similar to the old one, just better. Less brake dive, less body roll, just a smoother powertrain, as well as just a more planted chassis. So when you're out on the road, it's just a more confident vehicle to drive. And like I said, I've had 4Runners in my life since I was first driving. The car I got my permit in was our 07 Toyota 4Runner. So I've been around these for a very, very long time. And to see the improvements over the decades is really nice to see. And this one just so much better. And it's funny, yesterday I was talking with my wife. If I wasn't such a performance car enthusiast, I like sports cars, I daily drive sports cars, fast cars. If I didn't have that as my kind of favorite thing, I would be in a 4Runner right now, given I probably would have got my dad's old 4Runner back when I was 16 as my first car or something like that. I probably would have had it for 10 years and then got a new one, and then at this point I probably would be getting one of these. So I would be driving a 4Runner if I wasn't into performance cars. And realistically, if I were to buy an SUV for me, I would probably either get this or one of the fast, expensive ones. So if I wouldn't go fast and expensive, I would go 4Runner just because it's, in my opinion, dependable, it's rugged, it can do the things you need it to do. Trailers, you know, boats, recreation toys, it kind of can do it all, and you're not sacrificing the car-like frame. You know, the Honda Passport's probably the best competitor to this 4Runner now. It's a great choice, but to me, it kind of drives more like a minivan. It's kind of that looser handling, big boxy, airy feeling vehicle. It's not really built for anything truly rugged. It's great for camping, trails, little stuff, but this can tow some serious weight. This drives way more solid. It's got more power. You know, this is just a tougher SUV, and this is more my taste. But overall, 2026 Toyota 4Runner Limited, this exact spec I would buy right now if I was in the market. That is it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content. Shout out once again to Flo Toyota of Statesville for providing this nice SUV for today's video. Share the website link below, and I'll see you all in the next video.